Most people put on a blood pressure cuff, see two numbers on the screen, then they just move on. They do not think about what these numbers mean. They just assume that everything is fine or they will deal with it later. This is where the real problem starts. Those two numbers are not the same. They are not interchangeable. Depending on how old you are, one of these numbers could be doing a lot more harm than the other right now. What is even worse is that many people are told that their blood pressure is under control, but they are not taught how to understand it. They get a reading. They do not get any explanation. So let us change this. Imagine this. 7 days from now, you sit down, put the cuff on your arm, press start, and for the time in years, you really understand what you are seeing. Not just the numbers, what they mean for your arteries, your heart, and your future health risks. You will know which number is more important for you. You will know what actions you need to take to control it. You will not be guessing anymore. That is what we are going to do today. We are not going to give you advice or surface-level tips. We are going to give you a system to understand and act on both numbers in your blood pressure reading. Let us start with the basics because this is where most people were never properly taught. When your heart beats, it pushes blood through your arteries with force. That moment when the pressure is at its highest, that is your number, the top number. Then your heart relaxes between beats, the pressure drops. That point, that is your diastolic number, the bottom number. So when you see something like 120/80, what you are actually seeing is this. 120 is the pressure when your heart is pushing, and 80 is the pressure when your heart is resting. Two numbers, two moments, two completely different stories about your body. And here is the first mistake most people make. They rely on a reading. One measurement, one moment, one reaction, either panic or relief. Both are wrong. Here is what you should do instead. Take your blood pressure 3 times in a row, rest for 1 minute between each reading, and then average those numbers. That average, that is your blood pressure. Not the rushed reading you took while you were distracted, not the one after coffee, not the one when you were stressed. The average is where the truth is. Now let us go deeper. The top number, your pressure. If you are over 50, this number becomes incredibly important. The biggest reason it rises is not what most people think. It is not just stress. It is not just salt. It is stiffness. Over time, your arteries lose flexibility. When you are younger, they expand easily. With each heartbeat, they absorb pressure like a shock absorber. But with age, those elastic fibers begin to break down. They are slowly replaced with material. Your arteries go from flexible to rigid. When your heart pumps, there is nowhere for that force to go. The result is that the pressure spike gets higher. That is why many people over 60 have something called systolic hypertension, where the top number is high but the bottom number looks normal. And here is the problem. A normal bottom number can give a sense of security. Research is clear. Rising systolic pressure is strongly linked to heart attacks, strokes, and kidney damage. Even a 10-point increase above 140 can significantly raise risk. So what actually helps here? Not trends, not shortcuts, consistent inputs. First, potassium from food, not supplements, food, avocados, beans, spinach, sweet potatoes, fatty fish. Potassium helps your blood vessels relax. When they relax, pressure drops. And people, they are getting far less than their body needs. Second, aerobic movement, not workouts, not burnout sessions, just consistent moderate activity. Walking, cycling, swimming 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, that alone can reduce pressure by meaningful margins over time. Because your arteries adapt, they become more flexible again. Think of it like this. A new garden hose bends easily, and one left in the sun for years becomes stiff and brittle. Your arteries are no different. But here is the part: this process is not one way. You can improve arterial flexibility even later in life. Now let us shift to the number, because this is where a lot of people, especially under 50, are overlooking real risk. Your diastolic pressure reflects what is happening between heartbeats. When that number stays elevated, your blood vessels never fully relax. They are under tension. Over time, that constant pressure wears down the structure of your arteries. Imagine bending a piece of metal over again. Eventually it weakens. That is what chronic high diastolic pressure does internally. This can lead to something serious and often silent: an abdominal aortic aneurysm. It develops slowly, no symptoms, no warning signs. If it ruptures, survival rates drop dramatically, even with immediate care. This risk is higher in men, higher with term elevated diastolic pressure. But here is the key: it is largely preventable when managed early. So what actually lowers pressure? 2 things people often underestimate: stress and sleep. Chronic stress keeps your system in a constant on state. Your blood vessels stay slightly constricted even when you are resting. That alone can raise diastolic pressure over time. Sleep. That is your body's only real window for full recovery, less than 6 hours regularly. Your vascular system does not get the reset it needs. Now let us bring everything together. There is one factor that determines which number matters more for you: your age. If you are under 50, your diastolic number deserves attention because your arteries still have elasticity, but they are under constant stress. If you are over 50, your systolic number becomes the concern because stiffness makes those pressure spikes more damaging. This is not opinion. This is where modern medical understanding has shifted. Now let us make this practical. Here is your daily protocol. Morning include 1 potassium. Food. Keep it simple during the day. 30 minutes of moderate movement evening. 20 minutes of intentional calm. No screens, slow breathing, or a quiet walk. Night protect your sleep. 7 hours minimum. That is it. 4 inputs, 2 targeting systolic, 2 targeting diastolic. But there is one mistake you must avoid. Assuming improvement means you are done, you need measurement. Same time each week after resting, track both numbers. Because, without data, you are. Guessing is what got most people into this situation in the first place. So here is the takeaway. Your blood pressure is not a number, it is a signal. 2 channels, effort and recovery. Once you understand which one matters most for you, everything changes. So time you check your blood pressure, which number will you look at first?